Eric Haugen. Check the description box below for tabs and backing tracks on my website, information about exactly what sound tools I'm using today, live Q&A seminars and more on Patreon, and my deep dive courses. It's all on my website. Part 1, the verse with the thumb and finger independence. I am using a thumb pick. You could do it with fingers. You could even do it hybrid picking, but I wanted to be, as Chet Atkins-y as possible. So first, let's get the D chord. That's palm muted. Now the tricky part is, on top, the melody is this A tone. Oh boy, here we go. Assignment 1. So notice, with it, against it. With it, against it. By against, I mean in between. Okay, that's the first chord, a D major. Let's check out now the G minor. So the thumb's going to be back and forth getting those two. If you want to, Chet, the crazy thing about Chet is his thumb would get that many. Maybe he had a really good thumb pick that didn't have as big a tooth. I only get the root and 5. So same thing, let's see. With it, and then in between. Okay, the third chord is a C7. The thumb is going to be going. And then let's see, the melody is the melody. So all together. Oh yeah, so that last one's in between. Whew, that's tricky. All together, slowly. G minor. Trickiest one. And now, a series of diminished seventh chords. What's going on there is actually the chord is really an E7, flat 9 to A7. That's a secondary dominant. I have videos about that. But the deal is with a diminished, when you have a 7 chord, you can make it a flat 9. So that would be E, G sharp, B, D, F. That is the same tones as a G sharp diminished 7, a B diminished 7, and a D diminished 7. That's the trick. So one more time to review how the trick works. You got a 7 chord. You make it a flat 9. Whoa. And harmonically, that means any of the chord tones other than the root, other than the E, you can do the infinitely symmetrical inverting diminished 7 chord. Complicated, but does lead to like this. It's one of the many ways that diminished chords are cool. I have videos on diminished chords as well. I need to make another one though that really sums it up. So that run though, resolving to an A chord. And then this little maneuver. This, on the surface, looks like another diminished 7 chord. But really, it's the E7 with a B in the bass. And then there's the little flat 9 activity. That's the first section. Now let's go check the next section. All right, let's look at how to play the next section. And it's just a D minor. So, you could see that melody. Harmonized sixes. All right. Then an F7 chord. You know, here's F, here's another F7. Drop down to this F here because then we have a B flat. Let's look at that section again. So this is cool. You're no longer doing the thumb finger independence. Here we go back around to some D minor. So that's blues. A little more D minor melody. And then we have Stairway to Heaven, but on a D minor. That's super cool. The next part is really tricky. It's B flat to A, and Chet is doing harmonized thirds. Yeah, harmonized thirds against it. That's the craziest one. So it's kind of like, I see the G minor, I see the B flat, and then, so yeah, to do that, you kind of have to see the D minor scale on two strings at the same time. Together. One more time, that little maneuver. And then that gets us to the little solo. Check it. So the solo is over the same chords as the first. So it's coming in there with, that's on the D. That's kind of cool, putting those two tones against the G minor. And then these two tones, that makes sense against the C. And then this dominant diminished scale run. Again, that diminished thing that's going on there. The chord is an E7 flat 9, which is just an E7 with an F in it also. There's a couple of different diminished scales you can use. He is using the symmetrical diminished that is a half whole, half whole, half whole. So it goes E, F, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D, E. Half, whole, half, whole, half, whole, half, whole. But Chet, being the virtuoso that he is, let's just say is, because he's permanent, man. He starts it on the D and he is skipping tones, which makes it deceiving to figure out. That took me a while to figure out what that run was. I love that, though. He's used that before. By the way, if you wanted to be super Chet about it, he would alternate pick like that. Like, me being the rock guitar player that I am, I just grab the pick and alternate pick it. Now, if you want to know Georgia solo, which Chet does cop as well, it's this. Here's the D. Here's the G minor. Here comes the C stuff. And then here comes the diminished stuff. That's a cool little solo too. I think the only other thing that Chet does at the end of his version, like this cool little tag. But Chet being Chet, he puts in a. So together, I'm gonna do it real slow. And then it kind of fades out doing the original thing. Respect. There you have it. Super cool thing to work on. Definitely not easy. That's the thing with Chet. We all know it's difficult. He's a virtuoso in a very understated way. He makes it all sound so smooth and so easy. Highly recommend that record, by the way. Chet Atkins Picks on the Beatles. It's a really fun record full of that understated, smooth style, playing Beatles songs, which are great songs. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. That costs you nothing and helps me out a lot. One more time, how I keep the lights on here is Patreon. Every backing track I've ever made, live Q&A seminars, and more. I update that every week, and I make courses. As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. That includes yourself. Happy Friday. Eat pizza.